Okay, due to elections in Andhra, Monday and Tuesday, I'm not taking the sessions. Okay, so the majority of them are Andhra, that's the reason. Okay. Wednesday, we'll resume the session. Okay, fine then. So let's practically understand how exactly Git branch we can create. Okay, yesterday we understood the branching strategy, all that, correct? So today we'll try to create the branches. Okay, so as I mentioned, what is a branch? Branch is a copy. So currently we have a master branch. Am I correct? So in that master branch, let's say I'm not sure how many commits we have. Let's say there are 4 commits. Now, when you try to create a new branch, all the commits which exist in that particular branch, you will get it into the new branch. From then onwards, both are independent. Once you create a branch, after that, both branches are independent. What does it mean? Let's say I'm trying to create a branch called dev. In that dev branch, if I'm making any modifications, it does not affect the master branch. Okay, I'm committing few changes in the dev branch. Let's say in the dev branch, now I have 6 commits. In the master, still you'll be having that 4 commits only, not 6. Because when we took the branch, we actually had 4 commits. Unless someone else is actually creating a pull request or merging and all, generally master branch, we don't make any changes. But anyway, but if you are making some changes in master that does not reflect in the dev changes will not reflect in the master unless you explicitly merge it. If you are not merging it explicitly, you don't see that changes in other branch. Okay, so let's practically understand, then you will get to know. Okay, let me open that particular folder. Okay, now how do I know the list of branches? By using git branch. By using git branch. So this will display in the local what are the branches you have it. I have only one branch as of now, and star indicates current branch. Current branch. I am in, which is my current branch? Master. Now I am trying to create a new branch. Trying to create a new branch. How do I do that? Git branch, then the branch name. Which is my branch name now? Dev is my branch name. I'm trying to create it. Fine. Now I will create a branch. Now the branch will be created. Still I will be in the master branch only. See, the branch is created. How do I know branch is created? Git branch, again you type it. Then it displays the list of branches. Now I have 2 branches. One is dev. Second one is master. In the master, if you, and star indicates current branch, you can see I'm in the master. Fine. So git log -- one line. In the master, I have 4 commits. The same commits I should get it in the dev as well, because it's a copy, right? That's why I meant to say copy. Now, how do I move to the dev branch? How do I move to the dev branch? So to do that, we need to use git checkout and the name of the branch. We already used checkout for another purpose. That purpose was if any file by mistake you are deleting it, if it is already committed, to get that particular file back, we actually used checkout. And the same checkout we are also using to move to the different branch. Okay, so git checkout dev. When I do that, now switch to dev branch. You can see now this yes or no? Now if I again say git branch, can you see star indicates current branch? Which is the current branch now? Dev is the current branch. Now in the master, we actually had 4 commits. The same commits I should see even in the dev as well. Yes or no? Git log hyphen one line. Can you see all 4 commits you are seeing in the dev also? Fine. From now onwards, whatever the changes you are doing in the dev, it affect the master. Correct? You took a, now you are doing some changes here and committing it. Now that changes, unless you merge, it will not be affecting the master. Getting the point? Now, always remember the working directory belongs to current branch. What does it mean? Now I am in the dev. Dev related changes you can see in the working directory. You cannot see any other branch related, and do not think that there will be multiple working directories. For each branch, there won't be multiple working directories. There will be only one. The current branch changes will be displaying over here. So what does it mean? Now let's say I will be creating one file and I'll be committing that particular file in the dev branch. Now you'll see that file in the working directory. If I switch back to the master, I don't see that particular file in this working directory because in the master, that file will not be there. Are you getting my point? So let's practically try to understand. Then you'll get, I mean, like it will be clearer for you. Now, if I explain theory, sometimes you might not be understanding what I'm trying to say. Fine. Now, what do? We'll create one file here. Now I am in the dev. I'm creating one file. So I'm saying this one. So as I said, test main. I just copied. So I created this file. This is a new file. Am I correct? Now what do? Git add test main.cs. I added that file. Now I am committing this particular file. Git commit. So I'm simply saying dev commit. Git log hyphen one line. So you see there is one new commit, dev commit. Now this is a new file in the dev. This is a new file in the dev, and this is a new commit in the dev. If I switch to master, I should not see this particular commit in the master, and I should not see this file in this working directory. That is what current branch changes will be displayed in the working directory. I'll show you now. You can see the magic. I'll change now. Git checkout master. Let's switch to the master. Now I'm saying git log hyphen one line. Do you see this commit here? No, right? The new commit 31A76 that you are not seeing here, and you don't see that file here. Test main.cs. I'm not seeing that. But if I come back again to the dev, I can see it. Let me switch back. Git checkout dev. You'll see this commit, you see that file. That's why I'm saying working directory belongs to current branch. Only the changes related to that branch, you will see it over there. But you can ask me a question. Git ignore, I'm seeing in both the branches. Okay. So, but it's not committed yet. Untracked files will be there everywhere. It doesn't mean that it belongs to any one particular branch. Where untracked files exist nowhere, because Git is only saying it is not tracked by me, untracked. You can't simply add sometimes what do the trainees do, they'll create one file here in this working directory, they don't commit it, they'll switch back to the other branch, and there also in that working directory it will be showing. Why it is showing? It's an untracked file, it exists nowhere. That's the reason it is showing, because it doesn't belongs to any branch. First of all, it doesn't belongs to Git at all. That's the reason. If you are deleting untracked file, you can't get the file back by using git checkout on that particular file, because it's not committed. If you delete untracked file, that's deleted permanently. You can't do anything on that. It's an untracked file. Understand? Yeah. Okay, fine then. Now, what do? I'll check out to the master. If yes, from the dev to the master, I can merge it. That merge is a local merge. Only in your local it is actually happening. That is advantage using the Git actually. Initially, I mentioned Git branching. Branches you can create even in the centralized version control system also. But when you are creating a branches in centralized version control system, the branches will be created in the server also. You must create in the server, then only it will be available in the local. But whereas in the distributed version control system, in case of Git, the branches can be created in the local, and if you really require, you can push that branch to the central. Otherwise, you don't need to worry about it. So you can create local branches. So let's say you're doing some POC. POC, you don't need to push it. If you don't want to push it, you don't need to push it. If you push it, what will happen? Everyone can able to see. But in this case, this branch will not be there in the central. Let me show you. Saying bitbucket.org. Now here, can you see branches? I'm seeing only master branch. I'm not seeing any other branches. Even when you go to the source also, there is only one branch. So this dev branch I created in the local. Unless I push it, it will not be visible in the center. Okay, fine. Anyway, now I am merging from the dev to master. Now I say git checkout master. Now when I merge it, see as of now, in the master, I can only see these 4 commits. I'm not seeing this commit. Yes or no? I'm trying to merge it. From where? Dev. When you do that, what will happen? Git merge I'm doing. Now you should be in the destination. Remember this. From is dev for me. To is master. So you should be in the destination. Now I am in the master and merging from where? Dev to where? Master. Okay, fine. Now git merge dev master. When you do that, it gets merged. Now git log hyphen one line. Can you see that? The commit now, the new commit which you have created, and you can see in the working directory that file now. Now you will see that file in both the places because you merged it. Otherwise, you don't see it. And merge is not mandatory. Again, you don't need to merge it. If you don't want to merge, you don't merge it. No. If you why do you need generally why do you merge it? Practically, why do you need to merge? It's not almost. There is one file I have added. If you need that file in the master, then merge it. Otherwise, you don't need to merge it. Why do you create some files and modify files? For your project, right? To add some functionality, you are modifying the files or updating or deleting or whatever you are doing, right? If you need that functionality, even in the new branch, then you will merge it. Simply, you don't add files in the project, right? For some purpose, you do it. So if you need that functionality in this branch also, then you will be merging it. Okay. If you don't want to, don't merge it. But this branch, whatever you have created, exists now only in the local. Now, let's say you and me both are using the same repository. I created a dev branch now. The dev branch you will not able to see. Unless I push that, then you take it till that time. You don't see it because you can only see master. Because in the central, there is a master. Your system also, you can create your local branches. That I can't see it. Yes or no? That is the power of branch. Okay, that's why you don't need to take a backup folders. Yesterday I was saying, right? People actually take backup folders and all. You don't need to take it because you can create a branch and that will not be visible to others. Here only do a. Okay, yeah, fine now. And there is a difference between request and the merge. Both are actually for merging only. Which one? The merge and the pull request. Then what's the difference? What's the difference between the merge and the pull request? Merge, we are doing it in the local. In the local, to merge the changes from one branch to another branch, you are merging it. Pull request is actually to merge the changes in the central from one branch to another branch. That's the difference. That is also merge only. But that merge is actually will happen in the central. This will happen in the local. Pull is different. Pull request is different. What is pull? Huh? No, that is fine. But what is the difference between pull and pull request? Both are not same, definitely. To get the changes of a branch from the central to the local, we use pull. Push, pull, you know, right? Push is from the local to the central to push the changes, the commits, we actually do push. Pull meaning someone else modified it and you have new commits, you are pulling it. But pull request is not to get the changes from local to the central to the local. This is to merge the changes from one branch to another branch. This is the pull request actually. It's not a command. You can see here, pull requests. So don't get confused. Create pull request you can mention here the branches, from which branch to source to destination. Then here you need to type the description and the reviewers who should review this. Once they review and once they accept, it gets merged directly in the central repository. That is pull request. Pull request, but that happens in the central. But merge command, which we are using in the local, that is happening in the. Okay? Yeah. Fine now. Now the question is, how do I push this particular branch? Which branch? Now I created a new branch called dev. Now how do I push that branch to the central? To the central. So where am I now? I'm in the master. Now you need to check out and you say dev. Now you need to understand this one, git config -- list. This is the git configuration. And you can see an entry called push.default equals to current. Push.default equals to current. Now, in your system, you will not see this. Which one? Push.default equals to current, you will not see it. Now, what is the relevance of this? If the value of push.default, see, there will be two values. There are many, but we'll concentrate on two only. That is sufficient. So push.default, you can either have as simple or current. Simple or current. If it is simple, then if you are trying to type just git push, it will not work. It will actually ask you to type git push -new origin, then the name of the branch. -new stands for upstream. Upstream is like central. Upstream for the local branch. Origin, again the central, then the name of the branch. You need to type that entire command if it is simple. What is simple? Push.default value. If the push.default value as current, you don't need to type this entire command. Which command? Git push -new origin, then the name of the branch. You don't need to type. Just git push will work. That's the difference between current and simple. Now the question is, which one I should use when? When should I use git current? Sorry, push.default as current. When should I use push.default as simple? If you really know, if you're conscious enough what you are doing, then use current. Why am I saying in that way is, let's say it is current, it is not simple. You are in some other branch. Let's say you are in something like UAT branch. And your intention is not to push the UAT branch. Your intention is to push the dev branch. And I'm just saying example. If you are saying git push, you are not actually there in the dev branch. You are in the UAT branch. That UAT branch changes gets pushed without warning you. Correct or not? But if it is simple, you need to type the branch name, right? You need to type like git push -new origin, then the branch name. While typing the branch name, at least you will see you are in which branch. Yes or no? Otherwise, what will happen? It just gets pushed. No warning, nothing. So that is the reason. If you are really concentrating on that, then you can have it as a current. Otherwise, it's always better to have it as a simple. The default value is actually simple. Default value is simple. Default meaning what? You should ask me if you are not getting something. No. Why are you quiet? Always default refers to not only in Git, everywhere. If you don't do anything, this will be the default meaning that. Default you will get this. Correct, right? So I'm not counting, then it will be simple. If you don't see that entry, it will be simple. But you can also add the entry. If you don't entry, it will be simple. Getting my point? Okay. So now let's try to understand practically this one. Now it is actually a current, the value. Now I'm trying to change the value to the simple.
Sir.
Now git config --- push dot if simple, I'm making it as git config --- what is the value now? Push dot default as simple. Okay. Simple.
Prasad sir. Sir, if by mistake we are pushing the changes from UAT to master, so how can we, I mean,
That's a different. We need to use different commands. We'll definitely try to understand. That's like I'll be teaching 1 hour topic only for that.
okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So git push. So I'm doing git push now. What it says? It's not allowing me. It says you need to use git push -- set upstream origin dev. Instead of -- set upstream, I can also use like the shortcut as -u. Then only it get pushed. But if I make it as simple to current, simple to current, then if I say git push, it will work. Are you getting my point? Now this is pushed. Now you can see in the central also, new branch. Okay, understood what is the simple and push? Sorry, simple and current. Okay, if you want only git push to work, then you use what? Current. Otherwise, simple. But when to use, I already explained it. Okay. No confusions till here. See, now the complexity is getting little increased. That is why practice is important. Don't practice, it's Greek and Latin. Don't understand anything. Practice, practice, practice. Fine then. Now the next topic is I have a project in the local system which is not part of a Git. Getting the point? There is a project which is not part of a Git. Now I want to make that project as part of a Git. How do I do it? For this particular project, what exactly we have done? Initially we cloned it. Then in that particular folder, we are keep adding the files. I don't want to do that. There is already a project in the local, you developed one. It contains like 20, 30 files, something. Now I want to keep that, and there is no repository for that particular project in the Bitbucket. Now I wish to create a repository in the Bitbucket, and then I wish to push that into the repository. How do I do it? How do I do it? Tell me. Just guess it. When we did the clone does three things, I said. Initialization, connection, pull, right? Then for this purpose, you need to do the same, meaning you shouldn't be cloning it. You should actually do these three things separately. Meaning first you should initialize. When you initialize, what will happen? .git folder will be created in the local for that project. Then you should be committing the changes. Should be committing the changes. Once you commit the changes, then you should create one repository in the center. Repository in the central. Then that repository URL, you need to add it in the local. So that connection gets established. Then you should push it. You should not pull, because from the local to the central, right? You're not pulling it. In the local, you have the changes. You should be pushing it. Initialization, then commit it, then you need to create a central repository, add that central repository URL in the local by using a command called git add remote. Okay, you should do that. Then after that, you should push it. This is important, right? Always do not think that you always clone it. As a DevOps engineer, I do agree, like you always clone, because you will not be creating your own projects most of the cases. But you should be knowing both the ways, right? From the local to central, central to local, both you should be knowing it. So let us try to do the second way now. So what do I do? I'm just creating the branch now, sorry, new folder now. vguide May 1024. This is a folder I created. Then I'm getting bored of this files once again. Don't get confused. You can download anything. I mean, you can create one simple file also, doesn't matter. Just to make you understand, I'm just taking a bigger project. Okay. It is already part of GitHub, so I'm Just removing that. I don't want. Okay, no problem. I'll take it from here. We'll delete it anyway. So this is the folder. And you can also see .git ignore. Most of the projects will have that I mentioned, correct? But anyway, I'm just deleting that as of now. What happened? Okay, so fine. So this is my source code. It contains these many files. It is not part of a Git as of now. Yes or no? So now what do? I'll right click, show more options, Git bash here. See, are you seeing any branch here? Why? It is simple folder. It's just your one project actually. It is not part of a Git yet. It contains these files. Now you need to make part of a Git. How do you do that? You should say Git init so that .git folder you will see it. Now if I say ls-a, I already told you ls is a command to display the files. It's a Linux command to display the files, and -a will display hidden files also. You are not seeing any .git folder also here. So that's the reason it is not part of a Git. If any project is part of a Git, you will see .git folder. Now I'm not seeing it. So that's the reason what do? Git init. So when I do that, now if I say ls-a, you can see the .git folder there. So how did I get this? By using this Git init. Okay, now you can also see the master branch here. Now what I can do? I can commit status. All the files are untracked. Why? Because these are files. I mean, we just created, we just initialized. Now I'm adding all these files. All these files. Now if I say git status, all are staged. Now I'll say git commit -m, then initial commit. See one commit here in the local. Part of a central repository. Yes. So if I say git config -URL, list, you don't see that URL here. Repository URL. Generally, if it is a part of a central repository, you will see that URL. One origin URL in the bottom. Now I need to add that entry. To add an entry, first of all, you need to create one repository in the center. So let's try to do that in the center. So go to repositories and you try to create a repository. So I'll take the name, the same name of the folder. Then I'm trying to create the repository. Say new project. And you mention here public. Do not include a README file. I don't want any commits in the center. Okay, so make it as master. Do not include a .git ignore. Again, I don't want any commits in the center. So now do what? Create repository. It's created. It's a empty repository. Now what I can do, you can see the commands here itself. Now I need to add this URL, git remote add origin. That's the command to add the central repository URL in the local. You need to copy this and not this one, right? And you need to add that entry here. Git remote add origin, then the central repository URL. So do that. Now if I say git config hyphen, you can see an entry. Can you see the entry now? Now you are seeing that entry. Okay. Now you will come out of it. Now I can push it. How do I push it? Git push hyphen u origin master. This is what I was talking about. If it is simple, you need to use this command. So use this and it gets pushed. Done. Now you just refresh this. Can you see all the files? Can you see that commit? This is how we can actually push, meaning create a new repository and local projects. You could actually have it in the center. You understood both the ways. One is if there is any existing project, you need to clone it first. Otherwise, if there is a new project, you need to follow this way to keep these changes in the center. Both the ways you should be knowing it. Okay, fine. Fine. In the next session, what do? We will try to understand how to get a merge conflict and resolve the merge conflict. That is also important. I have already asked you to do it by yourself. Okay, but anyway, I said I'll also explain. So we'll do that. Then there is a concept called rebase and all. We'll move to that. Okay. Yeah. So you have, as I mentioned, 4 days. So you must complete whatever I taught till today. Fine. So I'll be following, and if you want, I'm talking about DevOps guys. If you want, after 2-3 topics, meaning once Git and Linux and shell script get over, after that, I'm not demanding. It's all based on yours. So I can take a mock interview, or if you want me to conduct an exam also, I can do it. If you are interested, I'm not insisting. Why? Why am I specifying if you are interested? Then people think that why is behaving like a school students. Correct, right? So I'm saying if you are interested, you can only come to me, then I'll do it. Otherwise, I don't want to force. Now, see, this is, you should feel responsible. This is for your benefit. Correct, right? So that's the reason. So the reason why I'm stressing that is, if you don't practice, you don't understand. That is what may concern. I don't want that to happen. Why am I keep on repeating? Because of that reason only. This interest will not be there after 20 days because you don't understand anything since you are not practicing with it. Everyone will have problems. If you are working in work like for projects, definitely there will be that tension also and personal issues also. But still, you need to spare some time. You have decided that you wish to get a job in DevOps. Now there is no other way to escape. Yes or no? So you must spend some time for the practice. And again, I'm saying, if you're stuck somewhere, I'm always there to help. But don't neglect it. Okay? Don't keep piling the recording saying that it's okay, only 1 day or 2 days, I'll do it. Day after, it will not happen. That's why I'm saying. Okay? Fine. Any questions now? Anyone?
Sir, like we are everything small project. We can communicate also.
You have the project, right? The real project which we are these guys are working. You can take that project and you can push that, no? You can make some, but don't to practice in that Git repository. Create your own and do it. Okay, yeah. So that's why this is also a like new project, right? Instead of taking that project, you can download one .NET project only, no? Yes or no? You can download one .NET project and do all this. I just downloaded one iOS project. This is iOS code actually. But this is a small one, but generally you will get a bigger ones. Okay, then you practice with that. Yeah. You are also like working on some task, right? There will be bigger task, right? So that is a project for you. Let's say there is one CRUD operation. That's a kind of project only. So try to place it. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, tell me.
ఇప్పుడు ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ కోడ్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం కదా, అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఎగ్జాంపుల్ డెవ్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం, అందులో ఒక ఫైల్ యాడ్ చేస్తాం. ఇప్పుడు ఆ ఫైల్ అనేది మనకి వాంటెడ్ అయితేనే మాస్టర్లోకి యాడ్ చేస్తాం. అలాంటప్పుడు మనం డైరెక్ట్గా మాస్టర్ నుండి పుష్ చేసుకోవచ్చు కదా సార్. మళ్ళీ డెవ్ బ్రాంచ్ ని రిపాజిటరీలోకి పుష్ చేసి.
Okay, understand. So the question here is, I'm just repeating the question so that even online guys can understand. So let's say I have two branches. One is master, second one I'm adding a file in the dev and I'm merging it to the master. Okay. So now his question is, why should I create a new branch and add the file in the dev, then merge into the master? Instead of that, why can't I directly create a file in the master itself? That's the question. Now the answer is, why did we create a branch? Not to see, let's say if it is a POC branch. Now, why did I create a POC branch? I do not wish to combine my POC changes to my master branch changes. That's the reason I have created a POC. Now I'm working on my POC. Now, if I don't want that POC changes, I don't merge it. When exactly you are merging it? When you really need it. Now, you have done some POC, and even in the master, you are keep on working on some other changes. Now, both are independent. You are keep on working on. Now, the POC is completed now, and it got approved. Now, you want that changes to be merged to the master or any other branch, then only you merge it. If that POC is incomplete and you did not get any approval, you don't merge it, no? But I can't combine that POC changes in this branch, right? I can't work on both, right? My regular tasks are happening and POC changes are happening. So I should not be doing. The same example, let's talk about one more example. I just want to clear this. Okay, so dev, you have a dev branch, test branch, and UAT branch. Correct, right? So in the dev branch, you'll have the regular changes. In the test one, let's say in the dev branch, let's say in the test branch, I have 5 features related code. In the dev branch, I'll have 10 feature related code. Whenever I really wish to deploy into the test environment from the dev, then I'll merge it. Otherwise, in the test, I'll have 5 feature code. In the dev, I'll have 10 features code. It doesn't mean that for everything I'll have only one branch. No, if you are having only one branch, then how do you divide this? Is understood now? Correct or not? You see, you should understand why do you need a branch first. That is important for any concept for that matter. What is important is why should I use this? Then you don't get these questions. Your confusion is I just created it immediately, I merged it. That's the reason you are having that confusion. Okay, fine. Any other questions? Clear? Okay, so we'll resume the session on Wednesday. Okay, fine. Thank you. Bye.